Hello, I'm Peaceful. I'm a world peace clown, and I thought I'd record my story today because I have been clowning with the Syrian people. Yoo-hoo. They're having a hard time right now, and I think they're reminding the entire world of why peace is so important. So, my day was really about being with the kids, hugging the adults, connecting on a really beautiful level with these wonderful people. They have a very, very great sense of community, is what I find. And in fact, I would say in the Middle East, I've noticed that the people really understand community. They come together, they eat together, they laugh. There's all generations that are there. Really fantastic. Whereas in Western society, we don't really come together, and I think we've lost our sense of community. To really sing and dance without alcohol. No alcohol, please. And have fun, you know. Just have real fun with people without any criticism. Just play and enjoy the moment. So I was invited to come along, and I did, and it was really great. And it started out with me just hanging out with the kids, in the beginning. And I love it, I really love it. And I feel very like I'm their friend anyway. I don't feel like an adult when I go clowning. I don't even really feel like an adult anyway. I think the child is still alive in me. Thank goodness. So we went and played, and they go, "Can you juggle?" I go, "Yeah, I can," Or I might say, "No, I can't juggle." "What do you mean? Me juggle? Are you kidding?" And they laugh. So I pull out a ball, and I'll just start with one. Make out I can only use one. I'm pretty useless at juggling. Pretty good at giggling. And then I might bring out the second ball and I might dance those around and just do it in one hand. And they get pretty impressed when they see you juggling with one hand. Now, if I could do it with one hand behind my back and maybe with my eyes closed, I think that'd be impressive. So I pulled out my third ball and then I started juggling and just wandering around and, just sort of hugging the kids and saying hello to the people. I have a bit of a clown walk, and I always go, "Oh, nice to see you. How are you? Merry Christmas." And we all just embrace. And I hugged probably 100 people today. And you can see I'm smiling. I smile because I'm actually really happy. I am a happy clown. I'm not seeking to be made happy. I just loved it. It was really, really great. And you can really feel, when the kids start to get to know you, you start to get to know them as friends. And to me, that's what world peace is about. I'll show you my peace symbol. I always wear that because I'm a peace clown, you might note. That's my job. Why am I a peace clown? Because I love peace. It's fun. When I was teaching peace, I'd say to the kids, "What's peace?" And they go, "Oh, I don't know, Or they would tend to think of it more in terms of being happy. And they're right. Peace is happiness, definitely. They don't actually talk in terms of the word peace. Most people don't actually. We all have heard the word, but we don't really have discussions around what is real peace. What does it feel like? All I can say is that for me, it's unbelievable joy. And I truly see the beauty in every single face. And it happens so fast because I'm open to everyone. People come to me. There was one guy today who was blind in one eye, and I have this expanding ball, and I was just throwing it to him. And then some kids came and I invited them in. They're only 3 or 4 years old. Another child was probably about 8. She came and played, and his mother was there. She came into the circle as well. And we just threw this expanding ball around, and he was laughing and having a great time. And that's my joy. I so love it when people connect. I so love it when people are included. And I'm very mindful when I'm a clown to bring everybody in. I don't want any child missing out. I don't want any adult missing out. because we're all children at heart, all of us. And I feel, with all the adults, they've had hard times, in their lives. And they kind of get so caught up in responsibility that they actually forget to play. They may not even laugh much. And that for me is the biggest tragedy in humanity, is when we stop laughing. Now I smile because I'm thinking of this moment I had on the train yesterday, not dressed as a clown, I was undercover. Sat on the train next to this lady and I go, hi, how are you? And she just looked at me. Oh, said, oh, I'm all right. Looked out the window. I went, oh, she's a bit of a challenge. And I said, oh, it's very warm outside, isn't it? She looked at me and went, yes, and then looked out the window. Now, at that point, I could have gone, I don't think she really wants to talk. And I did respect that, because my attitude is nobody needs to be happy if they don't want to be. If they want to be unhappy, or maybe they're having a bad day, that's okay. They don't have to make me happy. I'm already happy. So I sat there and meditated and just went into a state of peace. So I just go, I'm at peace with this. I'm at peace with this lady. She doesn't have to turn up the way I would like it. In fact, what I'm teaching myself is the way she turns up is what I want. I know that this is inner peace. And I'm very grateful to Byron Katie, who is one of the many teachers I've had in my life, who basically says what turns up is what you want. Now, most people go, no, it's not. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to, this person was grumpy. It depends on how deeply you look at the subject matter, darling. It is what you want because it's an experience that's happening to you. Now, this will all come from a perspective of nothing in life happens by chance. It's meant to happen. Now, people go, no, it's not. It's not meant to happen. Well, it depends on what you think reality is. I see reality is happening now. So whatever happens in my reality has to be something that's impacting on my life. And it depends on what you think your life is about. I think that we're here to learn. I think we live on. I don't think this is it. Not at all. I did near-death research and I met people who died and come back and they said there's more. And I believe that. So therefore, I'm having a life experience. And that experience might be happy, sad, mad, could be silly, can be anything. You're meant to have an experience here. And even if it's a negative experience, you can learn from it. So this lady, she was good. I was really happy. It was like, okay, cool. So I just waited and waited and waited and thought, get to the other end and let's see what happens. Just turns out that her and I ended up getting off at the same station. And I made a point of saying to her, have a lovely day. And she ignored me and she walked on. I just smiled internally. But equally, I respect that. It's okay. That's her decision. She's thinking something about my interaction with her that's negative. And of course, it's not true. I truly was wishing her a happy day. But she wasn't able to receive the love I sent her. And I understand that. And in fact, the words that went through my mind were, the love you withhold is the pain you carry. Now, instead of me thinking, oh, she's not a very nice lady or she's a bit mean or unkind, I didn't think that. I thought she's got a lot of pain. She can't receive the beauty that I was giving her. I understand that. But I'm going to give it to her anyway. And she need do nothing to deserve it. She already deserves it because she's here. And I absolutely know from all my traveling around the world that everyone is beautiful in their own way. If they're unkind or if they're negative, they're not liking themselves. It's got nothing to do with you. It's never personal. Never. So if I was to say this person's rude to me, no, they're not. They're rude to themselves. They're actually blocking themselves from the love that's sitting there waiting to be given to them. We live in an absolutely beautiful world. Do not watch the television. It's not true. The world is beautiful. It's really beautiful. And the only thing that stops you from experiencing the beauty of this world is by believing that it's a negative place. And of course, you'll see that in war movies, you'll see that in violent movies. You know, that's just a mindset that's been put into the movie industry. It's not true. It's not a fearful world. But if you want to live in peace, really, you have to stop watching all the negative stuff. Now, I have to laugh and I have to mention the clown thing because it just makes me laugh. People are scared of clowns. It's like, are you kidding me? What are you scared of? It's like, I'm only here to make you happy. I'm not here to annoy you. I might walk behind you and squeak my feet. Yes, I might do that. But if I see that you look unhappy, I'm not going to bother you. I'm just going to walk and play with someone else. But my reason for being there in your space is because I'm here to bring something to you. I'm a part of who you are. I'm the clown in you that's there. And you can either laugh with the clown and play and crack a few jokes, or you can go, oh, I'm scared of clowns, keep away. And people say it's a real phobia. No, it's not. No phobia is real. It's just that you believe that it's real. So what I say, someone goes, oh, I'm scared of clowns. Okay, no, you're not. You're scared of your thought about clowns. You don't even know me. You have no, all I am is a person wearing colours. Look at me, I'm just wearing a bit of colour on my face, and you call me a clown. Well, okay, call me a clown. I don't mind. You could call me a colourful person who's just having fun. Let's do that. If the word clown scares you, use the word jester. You know, I don't know. You can make up any word. I actually don't care. I just want to see if you laugh or not. And if you laugh, I'm happy. I'm happy if you don't too. Like, I don't mind. You're free. You can do whatever you want. You can walk away. You can do whatever you like. I'm happy anyway. But the reason it's enormously joyful for me when I see you smile is I know that it's good for you. It's endorphins that run around the body. That's the hormones that are released. When you start laughing, even if you're not even that happy, if you fake it till you make it, just laugh a little bit and then start really laughing. Allow that beauty to come into you. It's so good for your body. It's so good for your health. The healthiest and happiest people, are always laughing, because their body is jumping for joy, literally. So that's why we do it. We do it to remind you that life is not scary. Life is fun. Life is whatever you make it. Life is stepping out of your comfort zone. Life is interacting with people you don't know. Life is, cracking a joke. Life is juggling. We're juggling heaps of things, So for me, it has been the most wonderful thing in my life was to become a clown. I cannot express to you the joy I feel. I actually miss it sometimes. I really miss it. Like, it's like, I have to go and be a clown. I have to go and hug everyone. And today with the Syrian people, oh golly, they're beautiful. I just love them so much. There was a lot of people I hugged, and I did a little bit of a show. I juggled I've got clubs, big clubs that I use, and I have bubbles. Bubbles are great. Kids love those. So I blow the bubbles, and really they're a metaphor for positive thoughts. Just imagine positive things and your world will literally change. Now, some people say, oh, that's rose colored. You're not being a realist. Well, I was trained as an economist, so I worked as a market analyst. I've researched all the heavier topics around our world, and I know that happiness is a decision we all make. I chose to become a clown. I moved out of that serious life and I became a clown. And I started to see the world very, very differently. So when I traveled the world, I met people in India, I met people in Egypt, I met people in Thailand, I met people in Greece. I then went across to the UK and hung out with the British. It was nice. Up to Scotland, went across to Ireland, you know, played on the streets in Ireland. It was fabulous. And then I flew to the United States, went to Chicago, hung out there, did some juggling, made people laugh. Flew down to Cancun in Mexico, and I had a lot of fun. And then I went by bus by myself. It was great. by bus down through Central, down to Central America, through Central America, across to South America, and met with the people. I didn't speak a word of Spanish, but I speak clown, so they got the point. You know, smiling is universal. If you smile at people, they do know what you're saying, and we communicate a lot more through nonverbal communication anyway. And I would be a master of that because I use nonverbal skills to communicate love to everyone. I've had the great privilege of really dancing with many people in this world, and there was no one that was unacceptable. Even when I was in the orphanages, I was in places where people were badly deformed, like really deformed, and I just looked into their beautiful eyes. And when I saw them laughing, or even if they're slapping things, like they might slap the desk in front of them, they've got some sort of reaction, muscular issue. It doesn't worry me. I just look straight into their eyes, and I find myself seeking to dance with them. And that's harmony. It's like you're just sort of flowing with the people, you know. And what you're a mirror of is their beauty. So when you're smiling into their beautiful face, no matter what they look like, is always a beautiful face. There are no faces that aren't beautiful. I close my eyes just then because I can feel it. It's like I cannot express to you the beauty of this world. It is so amazing. Every single human being I've had the privilege of meeting has something extraordinary to offer. People seem to look at Hollywood and they look at rich, whether they got money, who cares, God. And I've met a lot of people with money who aren't happy. It's like it's not, if it really was going to make you happy, every single person who had money would be happy, and they're not. So it just shows you the real happiness comes from doing what makes you happy, not doing what makes you rich. That's not going to make you happy. It's in the giving that we receive. It really is. When I've given to others, they give 100-fold back to me. I don't need money. I don't care about the money. I absolutely don't care at all. It's like just being with people is the most beautiful experience. And there's not one that's unacceptable to me, not one, you know. So my traveling around the world was a great window that opened for me, a doorway indeed, and that door was that we are one family, one humanity, and all conflict can be resolved when we choose to resolve it, when we're willing to look at ourselves. That's how conflict resolves. And when we realize that what we've judged in other people is never true, never, never. It's just what you're imagining. And then you might say, well, morally, they should do it this way. Well, as soon as you say should, that's going to create a problem. You can guide people and you can lead by example, and they can say, yeah, that works. That makes that person happy. I'm going to follow that. But the minute you start to get into controlling people and making them like you create an unhappiness. You take their freedom. We're here to be free. We're here to experience the huge experience of life, which is that you're unlimited. You can do anything. You can be anything. Your greatest test in this life is to face fear. You know, I clown around, and it is a courageous thing that I do, because I go up to strangers all the time. I go to people who I don't know. In the beginning, it was probably courage, but nowadays, I think I'm just loving the experience of just being with my family, which is everyone. So, this is a message of love to the Syrian people in particular, and a big thank you to them for who they are. I definitely send love to the country of Syria, wherever there's Syrian refugees around the world. I specifically want to send love and joy and peace to you. You're an amazing people, all of you. I've learned a lot from you. I really can see the gifts that you bring in humanity. I know that you're suffering very deeply, and many of you are losing people that you love. But don't lose your sense of humor. No matter what happens, keep whatever faith you've got in the world, keep it alive. Trust that through suffering, great things will come back eventually. So humanity's learning big lessons right now. There are no enemies in humanity. And if you believe you're fighting an enemy, I would say that You need to think again. When we sit down, we drink tea together, we talk to each other, we will find we're way more different than way more different. That's funny. Way more similar than different. Well, I guess if you're thinking you're enemies, you'll be sitting there thinking you're really different. But if you're coming from a love space, and that's how you know if you're coming from love, you will see that they're similar to you. Ah, and that's why I made that mistake. No mistakes, remember? What that's saying is if your intention is loving and you seriously want to resolve the conflict, if you really, really want to do it, you'll come from love. Now, when you come from love, for those of you who have a spiritual background, you know where that's coming from, right? That's how you know. That is the power. It always has been the power. When you feel cut off from that power, you're in fear. You're letting your thoughts become a wall, and you can't see other people for who they really are. You're seeing them as an enemy. You're saying they deserve it. You know, you want to win. What are you going to win? Where you really win is when you all surrender to love. That is the greatest winning on this planet. There is nothing else but that. Surrender is a beautiful, beautiful word. Letting go is an even more beautiful word. Because when you let go, you're letting go of negativity. You're letting go of false beliefs. You're letting go of barriers. You're letting go of walls that psychology builds to make someone other than you. When you let go and you let life guide you, which is what I do as a peace clown, you're going to be amazed where you wind up. If you stop thinking and start feeling, if I was that other, how would I feel? The whole world changes because we're all energy, we're all connected, we're all one family. So when you see someone who's suffering, go to that person, help them, give them love. And when you give them love, your life will never be the same. If you've done things that you feel are really bad, the way to remove all karma is unconditional love. That's the only way you heal. Love is definitely the way. And you're always forgiven, always. So don't carry the burdens. Just get working on resolving the conflict in peace. Find the peace within you. It's always there. You only have to ask, I need to feel peace. I want to feel peace. Close your eyes. I am the peace. I am the truth. What do I see? I see my mother. I see my brother. I see my father. I see my sister. I see my child. And we might call them Muslim, Christian, whatever, who cares? Call them whatever you want, but they're still your brother, your father, your mother, and your sister. When you truly see that, this is what it is to come home. This is coming home. When I traveled the world, I could cry here, I could. I saw every single person as my family. There was never an enemy. The people were so beautiful everywhere. And I know that's the humanity we're all seeking. You can never win a war. You can only surrender to peace, surrender to truth, surrender to love. And then the war is over. There is no enemy. So that's my message to anyone who's in a war zone. You have to find the peace within. That's the only way forward. You have to forgive the past, and you have to envisage a future that's worthy of children. The children are looking to you. They're very frightened, and they need to look to you to feel some hope for the future, because they are the future that you're creating. So with that, I send you love, I send you peace, and I send you real hope. If you want to look at my work, I'm a peace educator. Go to www.worldpeacefull.com. Where there is life, there is hope. I love you.